Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, as it is here in Sydney. Welcome very much to Macquarie University's webinar. This afternoon, we're going to be talking about the Master of Engineering Management. And I'd like to introduce Dr. Nazmul Huda, who is the course convener for the Masters of Engineering Management. So, Nazmul, I'd like to start by asking you a few questions. Can you please introduce yourself a little bit and tell us how you got into teaching on the Masters of Engineering Management at Macquarie?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who is attending today's webinar. My name is Nazmul Huda. I'm a senior lecturer in mechanical engineering program at Macquarie University. I started my academic career roughly about 6.5 years ago here in Sydney. My passion was working in industries in mechanical engineering in different projects. I worked during my PhD and postdoctoral, worked with multinational companies in Finland and in Australia. And I was one of the founding members of mechanical engineering program. Roughly about 5.5 years into that program, I realized that there was a real need for engineering management type of program at Macquarie University that we can deliver a really world-class program that connects the gap between engineering and business, considering we really have a strong business-focused School of Business at Macquarie University. Then my interest in the engineering management kind of area was like this is the time we have to offer a new program that really connects the gap between engineering and business. So that is the reason I moved into engineering management.
Great, thanks, Nazmul. And so, you know, a lot of universities do have engineering management as a program choice. So what makes engineering management at Macquarie special? Why should students consider Macquarie as their number one choice, do you think?
Well, that's a very good question. Obviously, we looked into all the existing programs in Australia. We looked into the detailed program structure and curriculum. A lot of them, they're really compact in 1 year study program, which really I felt that that is just not enough to give the right set of skills to the students. So we decided to come up with a 2-year program that can help the student to gain all the skills and soft skills and technical skills they need to lead in the engineering management field. That was one of the reasons that we came up with a 2-year full-time program at Macquarie University. In addition to that, we really strong in the School of Business, especially in Macquarie Graduate School of Management. And engineering is one of the fastest growing school at Macquarie University in the last 6 or 8 years now. So that really helped us in coming up with a state-of-the-art program and that can deliver all set of skills that the students need in today's world.
I think it's a good point. One of the things you mentioned there was MGSM, the Macquarie Graduate School of Management. And I know that you put this degree together with the School of Management, and that's actually one of Australia's top 3 business schools. So this is not a course which is, has been thrown together in a hurry. It's actually got some of the top management professionals and academics of Australia teaching on this program. So it's definitely a higher quality program than some of the others out there. Well, what do you think are the different technical and soft skills that students will learn from this degree that will help make them highly sought after?
Obviously, I would say engineers, obviously this degree is only designed for engineers from multidisciplinary field. It is for mechanical, civil, electrical, computer, and all other engineering disciplines. So what engineers really lack is the business development skill, leading an engineering business into the next stage. that sort of skill is what is missing in most of the engineering programs. So that will obviously, the Master of Engineering Management program will obviously help you to achieve the right set of skill. Considering we have MGSM on board, that will be co-leading the program with School of Engineering. In addition to that, we are looking into provide our students with industry mentorship. We hired academics to deliver this program with over 25 years of industry experience in multinational companies, so they know what they're doing and what is needed in today's world in terms of the right sort of skill they need. So we are quite on track, and we are quite confident that we can deliver what we aim for.
Okay, that's good. I think it's worth pointing out, one of the things about Macquarie's method of teaching here does emphasize greatly the soft skills, perhaps more than educational systems in some of the other countries that we've been to over time. And the reason is because I guess like knowledge now, specific knowledge can be looked up on the internet or even on our mobile phones. Whereas really it's the skills, knowing how to use the knowledge and having the skills to implement that to achieve your objectives. That really is one of the, I guess, defining factors now when employers are looking for graduates. So soft skills are very much incorporated. And I think the other thing that I would mention at this point as well, we have an optional unit called the Global Leadership Program, which is free to enroll in, and that also can help polish up some of the students' soft skills. So on to my next question. What are the things that students need to do to build a career in the field of engineering or engineering management?
I think the most important thing is to realize the market. You may have students from diverse engineering background, but what the gap is. It can be in the construction industry, it can be in the multinational oil and gas industry, it can be mining sector, it can be in any engineering field. So realizing the gap, the potential gap, and how you can lead the business to the next level, that is really important. So jumping on the career path from one step to the other. In addition to that, you need the right set of soft and technical skill, engineering core professional skill, and business development skill that will really help you to move to the next level of your career.
Okay, great. And final question I have today before we go on to the Q&A session is, what are the career opportunities for people who undertake this degree, and what is the salary range for these jobs in Australia? Starting. I can
give you the answer. Considering Australian scenario, but obviously, if you consider international market, there is a real great demand for engineering management type of jobs, especially in most of the developed and developing countries. In Australia, we have. It ranges, the salary structure ranges, it ranges from roughly about 60 to 70,000 to can be extended up to over 150K. So depending on what sort of projects you are managing. So it can vary depending on your experience and degree and knowledge and skill. From, I would say, for about 60 to 70 to more than 150.
Yeah, and I think some of those scales depend on how much experience you have.
How much experience you have. So you can obviously have to start from initial stage. By the time 6-7 years down the track.
And that's another thing as well. I mean, students often ask about, okay, when I've graduated, how easy is it to find a job? And look, I think one of the things that helps a lot when you're looking for a graduate job is whether you've got any prior work experience. So if, for instance, you've been working for a year or two between your bachelor's and your master's, that, for instance, would smooth the way for you when you graduate from your master's degree.
That's a very good point. In addition, I would add how much confident you are. So if you know that I know an equation, I know the process, I know engineering management, I know the right set of skill, and I can deliver, this is what I've learned, and I'm truly confident that I can deliver what I promise. So this is what you need to step into a really progressive career.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, is there anything else you'd like to add, or should we move on to the Q&A from the audience?
We can move on to the Q&A.
Okay. Great.
To answer any questions that I have.
Oh, there's a couple of questions here already. Good morning from India. Hello. Good morning, India. Does the university provide internship?
We don't have formal internship, but we have industry mentorship. We have industry guest lecturer, and we recently hired an academic with more than 25 years of industry experience. And we are planning to introduce some additional set of skills, such as Six Sigma type of certification, in addition to the Master of Engineering Management program that will help you to apply for different jobs.
Okay, and somebody here who, Ahmed Ahmad, who's been having a look on our website, well done Ahmed, and his question is about the different components, right? Because we have the foundation zone, core zone, and elective zone, and how are they spaced out? How are they delivered? Is it a case of finishing one zone before going to another, or are they mixed up?
No, they're mixed up. So you can start with two foundation units and two elective units. There are a number of elective zones. You can then move on to one core unit, one foundation, then one elective. So it's really we help you with the good study plan that you can finish in 2 years time.
Great. And here's another good question. This one from Mohammed. Good morning, Mohammed. Is there, or is engineering management a technical course? Now, Mohammed here has done his bachelor's in civil engineering. But people could join this course from mechanical, from mechatronics, from electronics, and so on.
It's a universal type of program. I would say this is an MBA for engineers. So engineers, you already have the right set of technical skill from your civil engineering degree. What you'll be learning is only two professional engineering units. And all the remaining units are related to business development. So that is not related to civil engineering technical contents. It is generalized for all engineering disciplines.
Okay, great. And a question from a Zarana. What are advantages of studying engineering management for an engineering or IT student? Well, I think the first thing to say is actually if you generally, to get into this program, you have to be an engineer, right? You have to have graduated from a Bachelor of Engineering program.
Yes, that's right.
So if students, if they've come from a, they've come from a Bachelor of a B.Eng or a B.Tech in, let's say, computer science, would they be eligible?
Bachelor of B.Tech.
Let's say in India, so it would be a 4-year degree.
It's a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
You consider that as software engineering, equivalent to software engineering, so that should be eligible.
So that would be eligible, yeah. Whereas if they came from a Bachelor of IT or a Bachelor of Computer Science, they would not be eligible.
If it is a 3-year Bachelor of IT, we won't consider.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, Anonymous from Bangladesh. Can you tell me more about the facilities we will get to use?
You will have access to all the software facilities. Obviously, this is a program that you won't see any hardware type of activities in all the courses. These are 50% business units and 50% engineering management units. So we will provide you with all the software technical support that you need, including certification in Six Sigma.
Okay, thank you. And another question here, this one is the classroom diverse?
It is really diverse. Considering it's a multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary program, you'll be sitting with students from business background when you'll be doing your electives from business faculty. In addition, when you are doing engineering units, there will be students from mechanical, civil, or diverse engineering disciplines sitting in the same classroom.
And look, I would add to that as well, because one of the things that we really believe in here at Macquarie University is that the future really belongs to people working in groups with different backgrounds. And I mean that in terms of different areas of expertise in their background, but also in their cultural background as well. So I know that many of you probably have never been to Sydney, and Sydney is, I don't know how you imagine Sydney to be, but it's a very multicultural city, even though it's in a relatively remote part of the world. And I don't think I've ever had a professional job here where my colleagues haven't been completely mixed up and from all different backgrounds and fields. And actually, when we talk about STEM and science, putting all these different people together with different skill sets, it sparks those great breakthroughs and enables us to push forwards with creating new inventions and new ways of doing things. So that's something we're very, very big on here at Macquarie, and you will find it is amazingly diverse, especially if you choose to take part in campus life and all the different clubs. And if you're into Harry Potter, there's even a Quidditch club you can join, as well as all the fantastic sports facilities. So another question that I get asked quite a bit, and I don't know if you have it at all, as well, it's like, well, how do I improve my chances of finding a job after I've graduated? And one of the strongest indicators that we've noticed here is how much the students get involved with the campus life. I mean, this is a campus university, 40,000 students, and it's a comprehensive university. So it has students from all different backgrounds and fields and all different age groups as well. So university is really about how much you want to take out of it. And so I'd say to students, dive head in, try and make lots of new friends, and try not to have too many friends from your own country. Okay, so let's go on to the next question from Nepal. Good morning. Are you eligible to apply for Project Management Institute membership after completion of the course? I'm not familiar with the PMI, the Project Management Institute.
Usually PMI requires a certain number of course completion to be eligible for the membership. We can get it checked. I cannot answer the question right at the moment, but we are happy to help you. We try to make sure that we will deliver whatever you need to be a member of PMI.
Okay. Another question here, is the program accredited to apply for related jobs globally? So my understanding is we don't have an accreditation at this stage because we haven't graduated the first cohort yet. But what I would say is that Australia is a member of the Washington Accord, which generally means that degree is taken in one of the member countries. I think there's 19 or 20 member countries are recognised in other countries. And they're also a way to, if you graduate at a point where we don't have accreditation and you need accreditation, you can actually approach Engineers Australia as an individual and have them assess the course that you've undertaken here.
In addition to that, it's really important that you have your bachelor's degree accredited instead of having a postgraduate degree. Postgraduate degree is to help you upbringing your skill to move your career. But you should really consider having an accredited bachelor's program before doing any master's program.
Thank you. Greetings from Vietnam. Hello, Vietnam. Which are the core management units in the program for engineering students? I think there's 8, isn't there?
There will be a number of electives, but from engineering management, there will be core units such as engineering project management, procurements and contract. We'll have quality control. It's more on the stat side, but if you consider only management, that is engineering project management capstone unit, which you'll be doing in the second year. In addition to that, we have a number of units from the School of Business, such as managing people, building your managerial skill, managing finance,
managing strategically.
Yeah. There are a number of elective options from the management side.
So I would say that in this degree, it's roughly 50-50, isn't it?
50-50.
Yeah, so 50% on the management side and 50% on the engineering side. I hope that answers your question. The next question from Mohammed. I've been through the units or the subjects, and are the numbers indicative of the difficulty level? So, I mean, he's seeing here some units referring to start with 3,000, others that start with 8,000. So yes, there is some sort of method behind this. Do you like to explain that?
Usually, units at 6,000 level, these will be at a lower level, so a bit easier than any units at 8,000 or 9,000 level.
Yeah. So 8,000 would be the hardest level that you would need to undertake on here. When we get to 9,000, we're then into research degrees. So yeah. So it's simply a system that the Australian government has so that we can assess the level of skills. So yes. Okay, the next question here. What are the services provided by the university to help students to find jobs after graduation? So I can answer that one. That's okay. So we have a career service here at Macquarie. Their job is to help you find graduate employment. And indeed, that's one of the things that we invest a lot on, and the Australian government is also pretty committed to that. In fact, part of government funding grants is reliant upon how well our graduate students finding jobs. So we're all invested in the same thing, which is finding you great jobs afterwards. So the career services there, they will be around in the orientation week, or Freshers Week, as you might know it, which is the week prior to the start of classes. They'll be explaining all the different ways they can help you, how to access that help, which is free, by the way, and where they're located. So you can find that information on the website. I think it's good to actually hear a live presentation from them, so you can actually understand all the different things they can offer. Essentially, in Australia, we don't have so much the placement system that they have in some countries. So it's not like the university will find you a job, but the university will give you the skills and the support to find a job. So how to write your CV in the correct way for this country, how to attempt your interview, and what questions you should and shouldn't ask, or shouldn't answer even. And then we have the careers fair as well. So that occurs on the campus twice a year. So those are the different ways that we will help you look for a job. Okay, next, do we have career support for international students? I think we've pretty much just answered that one. What happens if I fail any management unit, considering my technical background? Should the students be scared of the managerial stuff if they've never done business before?
I don't think it's there's anything for real concern. We have a number of units at 6,000 levels, so you can start from 6,000 level units, which are really in the foundation zone, in the foundational level. Then if you feel confident, then you can take 8,000 level elective options. For the engineering management units that will be offered from School of Engineering, it will be mostly based on generalized engineering, running a business, statistics, maths, into that space, not core management side.
Yeah. Okay. So it shouldn't be too.
If you fail, obviously you have a chance to repeat it in unit. That's a common procedure for every student.
Generally, look, if you've managed to complete a Bachelor of Engineering degree, you generally find that you're going to be okay with studying business subjects. Not the other way around, though.
Yeah.
Okay, and back to Mohammed. Is the marking according to the difficulty levels? So, for instance, do we mark an 8,000 level unit harder than a 6,000?
I think we already answered that question.
Regarding the marking,
marking will be based on specific subjects and rubrics. So there can be units like there's no exam, it's only a final project that you have to present at the end of the semester. There can be some unit that you have to have a final exam at the end of the semester, depending on the question complexity and level. So it really depends on what unit you are doing. And marking, it doesn't reflect, I would say, marking will be reflected on the exam contents. So if you're doing an 8,000 level unit, obviously you're learning something advanced level, and the question will be based on all the right set of knowledge that was delivered into that unit. So marking will be based on the same principle.
Yeah. Okay, great. Rita, what will the class schedules be like, and how many hours of classes will I have every week?
All right. In a typical unit, you have to attend 2 hours of lecture, 1 hour of tutorial. There can be units with 1 hour lecture, 1 hour tutorial, or 2 hour lecture tutorial combined. So on average, per unit, you have to attend at least 2 hours of class every week. So if you are doing 4 units, that will be total 8 hours at least every week of face-to-face or class.
And generally, we it's very rare for us to have classes on the weekends.
It is. It can vary. It can vary from morning till late evening, 6:30 or till 7 p.m.
That's right. Yeah. So I think the earliest class start time is around 8 a.m. and the last class probably finishes after 9 p.m. Or around 9 p.m. at night. Yeah. So often you'll find that if you are enrolling early on, you might have more choice of classes. The same unit might be offered at 2 different times or 2 different days of the week. And you can then, if you get in early, you can choose the one which suits you the best. So a lot of students try to get all of their attendance into 3 or 4 days so that they have 3 or 4 days when they don't need to physically come to the campus if they don't want to.
And most of the lectures will be recorded, so you have the chance to watch the lectures when you have time.
And I think we're nearly out of time. We've got a couple more questions here. Can I study any subject online before arriving in Australia?
I don't suggest any specific subject, but as long as you have a Bachelor of Engineering degree, that's all we need.
Yeah, great. And I think this is the last question that we have here. Are there any TA opportunities available for international students? TA, I assume it's training.
Teaching assistant.
Teaching assistant.
I believe it is teaching assistant.
Teaching assistant.
So it depends on individual students. So obviously you are not allowed to do any teaching assistant type of job in your own program that you are enrolled in. But you can apply for available jobs in undergraduate level, such as if you need any teaching assistant in mechanical or civil engineering program in the bachelor's program. And if you're eligible to apply, obviously you can apply.
Okay, great. Well, I think that's all of the questions for today. So is there anything else you want to add before we say farewell?
Just like to thank you all for your time for attending the webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email. We'll be happy to answer.
Great. And on behalf of Macquarie University, we'd like to thank you for tuning in today and for your time. We hope to see some of you here. And no matter where you end up in the future, we wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.